The latest out of Ukraine is that truckloads of Russian troops have entered Ukraine via a ferry and have taken control of at least one border station. Some have been emailing me and kind of commenting online saying that Russia is not acting in a way that is that crazy. Russia is doing something that, while unpopular to many who are Western influenced, they are really acting to secure their near abroad, the area beyond their borders, immediately beyond their borders. They are arguably increasing some internal political cohesion. And this is not going to have significant consequences for Russia. That what Russia is doing is not nearly as outrageous as what many countries, including the US in some cases, have done. That's certainly one perspective. But when we look at the reality of Russian troops moving into Ukraine's Crimea region by ferry yesterday after seizing control of a border post on the Ukrainian side of the waterway, this is a situation that is certainly huge levels of aggression from Russia that is violating the sovereignty of Ukraine. I feel weird saying that because often we talk about sovereignty violations jokingly when it comes to people not allowed to have shoulder-mounted RPGs in Alabama. But this is a serious situation.
Yeah, it is an act of aggression. I mean, you're literally stepping over the border and invading another country with armed troops. And I know, well, after the dissolving of the Soviet Union, I mean, a lot of Russians, a lot of very rich Russians and powerful Russians were upset that they lost the Crimean Peninsula. They lost that region because it was called like the Tsar's playground or something. I bet you a lot of them want it back. I don't know if this is just about that, but it's certainly disturbing.
Well, it's interesting because regardless of whether or not it's specifically about that, I said this last week, or maybe I think it was towards the end of last week, that we have a situation here that is feeling very Cold War-like. And what Lewis is talking about is yet another feeling of how this is very Cold War-esque. Now, the one convenient thing about the timing of Russia's foray into Ukraine is that maybe there are still some journalists hanging around from the Olympics in Sochi. And the most convenient timing for invading another country is right after you've held Olympics. So you really cut down on carbon emissions because the journalists don't all have to travel back to the country to cover this. Many of them might already be there. So that at least is an eco-friendly invasion of a neighboring country.
Oh, I guess you found the possibly the only positive thing here in this whole mess right there.